Guys, it's 2023, and you'll notice that with each month that passes, every year that passes, there's more competition, more hypnotherapists, more coaches, more NLPers, more healers being qualified probably than any time before. I saw a massive spike in 2022. So when it comes down to your individual business, I think this video is very, very important. Please listen to this. You have to be realistic. Gone are the days where there's not a lot of competition. A lot of people say, well, I don't care about my competition. I put out the right vibes and the right energy. People come to me. Okay, if that's what you tell yourself, that's fine. Okay, all I care about is your bank balance and what's in there, and is what you're thinking and doing actually working. That's all I care about. It is what it is. Be realistic, guys. If you believe, based on the state of the industry right now and how much competition there is, that you can get away with picking a random niche that everybody else is in and just creating 1 or 2 videos every month and then sitting back and doing the abundance block things, be realistic. It's right now, and I tell my students this every time, and I reinforce it very often over the last couple of months, especially if not the whole of last year, you need to do more than everybody else. And because there's so many people being qualified, you need to do even more than that in order to build up enough momentum to stand out amongst this noisy industry. So you have to be realistic. You can't just expect to find a niche, do 1 post a day and say, I don't want to do videos. I'm not going to do YouTube. I'm just going to go on Facebook because that's what I prefer. And then sit back and just expect people to come and find you because you stole a quote from Napoleon Hill and put it on your page. And then you look at it and, 30 days later, you've made no money. You're broke than before. Nothing's working. You're frustrated and pissed off. And you believe, okay, must be my abundance blocks or something like that. Take a step back, guys. Be realistic. You have to do the marketing, and you have to do marketing probably more than anybody else out in the industry. You have to have the right individualized niche. No longer can you just find another hypnotherapist or a coach who's crushing it and copy them, because now you're just in competition with them. You have to realize with every minute, hour, day, week, and month and year that goes by, there is more people being qualified. There is more people after the same clients as you, so you have to be realistic. And all in all, people can argue this all day long, and people talk about mindset to me. They talk about abundance block. People are talking about curses and stuff they've had lifted. They've talked about healing their past lives and all of that sort of stuff. All of those things are just theoretical, okay? All of those things are just guesses. All of those things cannot be quantified, so I'm not going to spend any amount of time, especially in my business, what I teach my students, to focus on those things because we can't control those things, and that, they're just a guess anyway. All I'm saying, and I say that to say this, you're in a business, it has to be logic. You have to take the action. You have to have a schedule that no matter how bad you feel or how sick you feel, how bad your headache is, how much you don't want to do another YouTube video, you have to. The first 30, 60 to 90 days of any new hypnotherapy or coaching business is the most important. You have to get enough momentum to stand out. If you're in a niche, especially, let's say the anxiety niche, which I tell everybody to avoid, if there's 100,000 hypnotherapists quite local to you, just maybe in the same state or the same country, and you expect to go into the same one and expect to go ahead about all that competition by just doing 1 video here or there, doing a quote here or there, having 1 Facebook Live every 3 months and expecting it to work, you have to be realistic. A lot of people get into this and they have saying, I've got the right vibes, I've got the right mindset, I've imagined my ultimate client are going to come kicking down my door, and they ignore all the logic and all the realism when it comes to doing business. You're going to get a rude awakening, guys. So all in all, guys, because of the amount of competition, be realistic. You have to grind. There's no way around it. I don't know where this thing is of everyone's so far against it. People can sit there and watch their favorite gurus. They can watch their favorite mentors create content after content, be across every social media platform. It seems like these people are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, most likely because they are. But when they watch these things and they're just consuming this content, they're not realizing how much content their gurus and mentors are making, which is dragging them in, but they're not willing to do it for their own business. They ignore it and say, it's not grinding. You don't have to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'm not saying you have to, that's just a metaphor, but you've got to come pretty freaking close to it, okay? We create a lot of content because I've got a lot of competition. I work 7 days a week. I post every 3 hours across every social media platform, regardless if I'm sick, can't be bothered, even if I'm doing a training course. On the breaks during a training course, if my VAs are not doing it, I'm posting my content, and it's on a schedule. It doesn't matter what's happening that day, how I'm feeling, what's going on, I'm sticking to that schedule. Why? Because with each minute, hour, day, week, and month and year, there is more people trying to do what I want to do. So if the more people come in, What have I got that's going to work for me that most people don't have? I'm happy to work my ass off. Excuse my language. I'm happy to work my ass off to make this thing work. And it's hopefully this attitude that a lot of my students have taken on board as well. Our most successful students, the $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 per month, hypnotherapists and coaches, one-to-one, working one-to-one in sometimes very oversaturated niches. The reason they win and they're earning the most amount of money is because they work the hardest. They create the most social media. They put the most inputs into their business. Thus, they get the most outputs. There's nothing magical about it. They're not gifted in any other way. They're not what I call an accidentalpreneur. They haven't just stumbled across some secret niche. They're not using any mindset or visualization or vision boards or anything like that. While everybody else is doing that stuff, they're working hard. While every other coach or therapist is going to see another mentor speak on stage, buying another course or do a mindset thing, they're working their ass off. These students, are so busy, they don't have time to worry about all those insignificant things that every other coach or therapist that's failing is obsessed with. Why? Because they're doing the inputs. So all in all, guys, you have to be realistic when growing a hypnotherapy business, especially now. And it's only going to get not harder. Hard is the word I don't want to use, but it's one I come up with now. It's going to get harder to stand out in the industry. So in order to stand out, you're just going to have to do more. You should be posting every 2 to 3 hours across every social media platform. You have to find those niches that do not have a lot of competition. You have to do something so drastically different. And by drastically different, I don't mean get more certified. I don't mean get another qualification on top of another. I don't mean find the right business name or URL or something like that. I mean, social media, your clients have to be aware of who you are, see you as an expert, but also see you everywhere. That's how you win at this game as a hypnotherapy business. And again, I've talked about this on videos before. If you don't want to do social media, you don't want to do marketing and sales calls, you may as well get a job. It doesn't matter what you try to apply outside of those things, nothing's going to work. It's not a mindset thing. It's not a curse. It's not trying to align your emotions to your business and all this sorts of stuff. A lot of gurus will talk about this because they've created courses that they're trying to sell too. But in order to sell those courses, they're grinding in the background across all their social media to sell these courses. Okay, hopefully you see my point there. So guys, be realistic, take the action, take more action than everybody else. I guarantee you'll win every single time.